Hey, Cahlen here. I'm here in back in Washington State, which is my home state, and it feels really good. This is actually close to where I was born, and I didn't actually spend most of my time growing up here, but something about being here feels very grounding. I'm actually at Mount Saint Helens, so I always, growing up very young, I would see the mountain off in the distance, but I never actually came here, so I thought I'd take this opportunity to come see it, since some people on the internet seem to be thinking it's going to blow sometime soon, so might as well see it before it goes or gets too dangerous to get here. I just want to show you the camp and go from there. So there's Jeremiah going to make some yellow snow with his dogs. And there's his van. He just cooked dinner in there. And I took the opportunity. There's a lot of cool trails around here. So I took my bike out on a run. It hasn't been going for a while, so got it all lubed up. The back tire went flat, so I had to fix it. Let's see. There, he's got our internet extender. He kind of stuck it up on this pole. I think it was a pretty good idea. He just sticks it in his window like that. And he's been gathering firewood. I've just been sitting around being lazy. So in a little while, when it starts getting a little bit darker, we'll have a fire going. That was quick.
I don't let it build up.
All right, so I'm going to take the bike up. You can't really see the mountain from where we are, so I'm going to take a quick trip up to where you can see it. But before I do that, just kind of give a quick tour of the bike. So it's basically a bicycle. It actually has pedals, you can see right here. And so I can pedal it. It doesn't go very fast. It's just one speed if I'm pedaling. But it's got the motor on it. And there's 3 ways to start it. I can use the electric start, but my battery is really low, so that's not going to work. I could also just pedal it and then kick it into first gear, and it's going to start up, like kind of rolling a car downhill and going into first gear. And it's also got a kickstart, so that's the thing I'm going to use here. Everything ready? So. Alright, time to go for a ride. So this is about the best view of the mountain that I can find from where I am. Currently there's some clouds going over the top of it, so you can't really see too much of it, but still looks really beautiful, and also it kind of makes me feel, this is actually a pretty close point to the peak. If I was to approach from the other side, the north side, it would be, I'd be actually be farther away. So the last time that the Mount Saint Helens blew up was actually about 2 years before I was born. So in the area that I was born, there was, people were very aware of that happening. Actually, as I was growing up, we had this book that was always sitting on our dining room table, which had pictures of all the stuff that went down. And there was like ash, totally covering cars, mudslides which were wiping out entire forests, lava flowing and that type of stuff. Jeremiah tells me he lived in way far east in the United States, and he's saying that when that happened, they were getting ash, and they even had people were like advising folks to get masks to cover up their noses and their mouths when they were breathing, because the stuff that they would breathe in would actually cut their lungs. So it was a pretty big event, considering that it actually affected people in the country that far east. So I'm going to head back to camp now, and when it gets dark, we'll have a fire going.
Everything feels wet.
Well, it's going really well.
What's that little brush? See if the bigger stuff can catch. Well, it's getting dark. I don't even know what day it is. It's
Friday.
Friday. Long day of driving. A lot of him running around on his bike. He's been like a little kid since he hasn't rode that thing in like a week.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Had some dinner and then made a fire, and then we left this part out. You guys didn't watch it, but we had some man talk, Some things we probably wouldn't want on YouTube.
Yeah, like some of the drivers we went around us. Yeah.
And past relationships.
Yeah.
I would say that was more of the man talk right there. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find myself feeling kind of nostalgic after getting back here, kind of where I was from, and then talking about like past relationships and stuff like that.
Get out of that.
It's about time to hit the hay, though.
Yeah, I think the dogs are wore out too. They wouldn't run up and down the hill with me. Looking for firewood and mushrooms and whatever. Kind of bombed on everything but the firewood.
Yeah, he thought he found some fiddleheads, but it was really just adult ferns.
Yeah.
I don't think you can eat those.
Yeah, I have to look it up. Yeah. And definitely going to deal with bears tonight. There's bear scat all over.
Yeah, so this is the third night in a row in 3 very different places that bears are definitely around. But I was a little worried the first night, but whoa, this fire's getting intense. All right, I want to move out of here, so let's go ahead and wrap up this video.
Yeah, well, he was getting ready to say he was scared shitless of bears before.
No, I wasn't going to say that.
Yeah, you were. Sleeping with your gun and everything.
Oh, that's true.
Now he's not so bad about it.
They're not getting through that thick steel there, so
Yeah.
whatever that is, car's made out of.
Especially when you crank it up and drive it away.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, tomorrow we'll probably be at our destination, so we'll talk to you then.
All right, man.
See you later.
Peace out.